Good evening, members of the board and members of the community. My name is Joshita Reza, and I am the 5th and 6th grade English language arts teacher over at Westwood. Let me start with a quote from one of my favorite books. You never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view, until you climb inside of his skin and walk around in it. That is from To Kill a Mockingbird. Now, Ms. Kaur and members of the board, I don't know what it's like to have your job. I don't know the stresses and pressures of running an entire district. But what I do know is what it's like to be a teacher in your district. This year is not only my second year with Dayton Public Schools, it's my second year as a teacher in general. Last year, I was a 7th and 8th grade English language arts teacher at Westwood. During this time, I was given a rating of accomplished through the Ohio Teacher Evaluation System, also known as OTES. This is not an easy task, but thanks to my team and lots of hard work, I was able to have more than a year's growth in a majority of my students. So imagine how I felt when I found out that I would not be with my team anymore because of the new building reconfigurations that occurred last year. So after a long, arduous, and very expensive process, I was able to go back to Westwood for my second year. This past year, I again worked countless hours with my team to ensure that our kids received the best education. And again, I saw immense growth amongst my students. 75% of my students, according to the NWA MAP scores, met their projected growth. So after going through what I went through last year, I had to face the same harsh news again, that my job at Westwood was not secure. Members of the board, please step into my shoes and try to see this fight I'm trying to fight. I want to keep my current position. The data shows that I deserve to keep my position. I am a second-year teacher who in her first year on the job got the highest rating on OTES. I am a teacher who is now the cluster lead of the Junior High Academy over at Westwood. I am a teacher who has had significant growth amongst almost all my kids 2 years in a row. I am a teacher who not only has her bachelor's degree, but also her master's degree. I am a teacher who not only won Inspirational Teacher of the Year award, but also Favorite Teacher. I am a teacher who spends thousands of dollars out of my own pocket each year to make sure my students have the best education and experience when they spend 8 hours of the day with me. I am a teacher who's essentially found my dream job. For 2 years in a row, and I've been fighting, and I mean fighting, to try to stay at Westwood. And it's not because I'm bad at my job. And it's not because, members of the board, here's a question I keep asking myself. What am I fighting for? And please keep in mind, I am just one teacher, one of many accomplished and highly qualified teachers who are being asked to pay thousands of dollars to keep their jobs. I am one of many teachers who are fighting for the kids at our school. I am just one of many teachers who go above and beyond the call of duty. I am just one of many teachers who is fighting this fight. So members of the board, I implore you to put yourselves in our shoes and ask yourselves, why stay in a district that takes our passion for granted? Why fight for a district that isn't willing to fight for us? Thank you.
Dr. Rountree.
Thank you, Dr. Walker. I'd just like to say to the teacher who just spoke how moved and touched I am by your words. I feel your passion, and I am confused. And to the extent that I'm able to find out more about your situation, you can trust me that I will look into it and get some of my questions answered. Because I think, other than my parents, teachers made the biggest influence in my life. And if you're that kind of teacher, and I really feel that you are, I'd like to know. I don't understand some of the comments that you made and some of the circumstances, but but for the sake of time, I will find out. I mean, I trust that I will. And if I'm able, I'll follow up with you to let you know that I have followed up to find out more about your situation.
It appears that we are ready to vote. Okay.
I just have one other question,
Okay.
and I've asked
Okay.
it before, and I'm going to continue to ask it. Every month we have individuals who resign, that this might be par for the course, but I've asked repeatedly for some type of feedback on why those individuals are resigning. Now, I'm not referring to people who retire. It's their time, it's their prerogative, but I'd like to know why some of the people, why so many people are resigning from this district.
So, Ms. Spurlock, can you speak to this, or is this something that you can't talk about because it's a personnel issue?
Okay.
Okay, go, please. Thank you.
As I discussed in November, the HR department is becoming more electronic. We are working on our onboarding process, and including that, we are also looking at the process where people leave. So we're looking at it electronically. We've already begun the first part of it, and we're also making the second part when somebody comes and they resign or they retire. We are looking at that, creating a process where they will get a survey to be interviewed so we can collect that data. We will present, but it's not quite ready for presentation.
Okay, because that's the exact same answer you gave me in November, and I told you even in November I'd ask this again
You
because
certainly-
it's a pattern, and then it's a pattern that concerns me. And I think if it's a reason for it, if something's not working, we need to kind of like be a little bit more transparent about it. And so what I'm asking is that we make this a higher priority.
Right, and what we did was if you look in our board minutes, I think it's from January, February, we had to hire a company to help us with that process. That was approved. We've been meeting with them in IT and all the departments in order to set up this system that does those things. It is time consuming.